Hey y'all, it's Pastor B. Scandals and disagreements in the church are as old as time, but it seems like we have not quite learned our lesson. So today's episode, we're going to talk about how to handle church scandals and how to agree and disagree. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and jump right into the episode right now. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Living from Sunday to Sunday podcast. I'm your host, Pastor B. I believe that this is the best 15 minutes of your day because real change happens 15 minutes at a time. So, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Make sure that you like this video, share this podcast with your family and friends, subscribe both to the YouTube channel as well to the audio podcast. They are available everywhere where podcasts can be produced. All right. So I wanted to speak today. It's been a couple of months since I've done an episode, but I really just kind of wanted to talk about current events and just how to handle scandals in the church, how to handle disagreements in the church. This is 2024, January 2nd is the day that I'm recording this. And over the last couple of weeks, there's been some scandals with very popular Christian preachers and Christian pastors. Um, and what has been the most, I think, revealing thing about these last couple of weeks is that the loudest voices um, have been those in the church. And the problem that I personally have with that is that um, there is a biblical process that is outlined in how we handle people who have been overtaken in a fault. That's what the word says. Um, but what's crazy is I don't even think we have the truth of the things that we're yelling and arguing about, right? Everything we're that you're hearing on social media regarding Bishop Jakes and Bishop Murphy is nothing that's been confirmed, especially with Bishop Jakes. Like nothing has been confirmed. There's just video that even hasn't been confirmed. There's rumors, right? And I wanted to read this scripture real quickly. Okay. So this is Galatians chapter 6, verses 1 through 4. And it says, brothers, if anyone is caught in a transgression, you who are spiritual should restore him in a spirit of gentleness or spirit of meekness. Keep watch on yourself, lest you be tempted as well. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. For if anyone thinks he is something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. But let each one test his own work, and then his reason to boast will be in himself alone and not in his neighbor. So again, that's Galatians chapter 1, or I'm sorry, Galatians chapter 6, verse 1 through 4. Above anybody in the world, the church should not eagerly embrace rumors. We should not be the ones running to expose what we think we know about our brothers and sisters. Because if we truly say that we're a Christian family, if we truly say that I am concerned about your soul, what benefit is it to run after salacious rumors, to investigate and to spread lies? How is it that what the world celebrates, the church embraces? How is it that those of us who say we believe God, how is it that we're so quick to jump on the bandwagon and, as a good friend of mine says, we eat our own? We intentionally seek to to dethrone people that we've platformed, that we've placed um, above God in some situations, right? Um, because the issue with social media is that it's created an opportunity and a platform for us to interject our beliefs and opinions on everything that happens in our culture. And one of the key parts of that scripture is those who are spiritual and those who are mature. The thing that I noticed is that anytime that there is a scandal in church, anytime that there is any misdeed or impropriety, anything that happens that um, a person does something contrary to what you think they should do, we are so quick to expose that. But and what that unintentionally does is that it exposes ourselves and our immaturity, right? I talked about in our weekly Bible study for our church today, I talked about the importance of prayer. And I don't really think if you're always seeking to expose people, and the moment you hear a rumor about either a church's past, a bishop's past, a current action, I don't think we really believe prayer works because we should, according to the scripture, um, bear one another's burden. And what does that mean? That means that my brother or sister, they're overtaken in a fault. So right now, they don't need exposure. They need prayer. They need love. They need covering, right? They need protection because they not only are exposed to the enemy, right? But they're exposed to, unfortunately, the wrong people. And so, and it doesn't even matter if it's true. Here's the thing, it does not matter to me if whatever they're accusing the Bishop Jakes did, it doesn't matter if it's true. Because my responsibility as a believer is to cover Bishop Jakes and to pray that the Lord touches his heart, touches his mind, and that he keeps him and protects him. Because the goal is not to expose and shame a brother. The goal is to win a brother, right? If you see me acting crazy, if you are a true Christian brother or sister, you're going to pray first. And you're going to believe that God can work it out better than you can, better than I can, right? We feel like our words, our opinions um, can do more than what God can. And honestly, I don't even think we'd be considering God. I just think we're so hungry for salacious headlines that we're willing to believe that versus just praying and asking God, should I say something? These phones give us quick access to be able to share our thoughts. But I really, really hope that we consider, should I even be saying stuff? And, one of the other things that happened very recently is, you know, church has very, has a context for various cultures. And I think we kind of forget that a lot of times. We we hold on to our traditions. We hold on to how church was when we grew up, what we believe church to be. And so when someone presents a church or presents a worship expression that is outside of what we deem to be right, we hold on to our traditions and we blame and we criticize and we judge. And that's just not, it's not cool, right? Who said that your worship expression is the only worship expression? Who said that you are the gatekeeper of holiness? Who said that your way is the only way? Right? Again, if you see something that you don't like, if you see somebody behaving in church, doing something that you would never dare to do, don't instantly demean it. A lot of times you just probably don't need to say anything. Everything that happened with Bishop Murphy over the last 2 days in his church, the Dream Center, I personally have been wrestling with because I serve under Bishop Murphy, right? But then also, I may not have agreed with everything he did at his church. So I'm wrestling with this, right? But I also know that I don't have to post everything, right? We have to learn, y'all, as believers, that the world is looking at how we handle scandals. The world is looking at how we handle disagreements. Why would I want to join a family that fights at the slightest disagreement, that doesn't want anyone to believe or have a worship expression outside of what they do, right? Man, um, this isn't going to be the first scandal. It's not the last one, but it certainly won't be the first one, right? I truly believe that a lot of stuff is coming this year, and that we have to be able to navigate these scandals. We have to be able to navigate these disagreements with wisdom and with compassion and care, because currently, right now, there's a lot of people who don't know God and are probably looking at how we treat the people that we've promoted and be like, you know what? I don't really want to join that faith. Because if these are people that they've celebrated, these are their people. In the moment that they slip and they fall, they tear them down like that. Why would I want to join that? They're gonna do me the exact same way, right? Um, we just got to do better, y'all. We just got to do better. We got to do better. Um, it doesn't matter if you agree or disagree with how Bishop Murphy and his church celebrated New Year's Eve. It doesn't matter, man. Focus on your own lane. Have joy, like enjoy your own life, right? Take care of your own self, right? I posed this question on Facebook today, and I really think it's true. I think, many times we focus whether or not someone else's relationship with God is solid, because we refuse to work on our own. The word tells us to work on our own soul salvation with fear and trembling, to be engaged with God from a place of humility. Exposure, salacious lies, slander, gossip, all of that stuff is rooted in pride. We can't truly and effectively serve God if we're prideful like that. If we, seek the downfall of our brothers and sisters. It's not a good look, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better. Because like I said, more is coming. This is probably going to be a bright and a dark hour for believers. We're going to have internal struggles. We're going to have external struggles. And God is going to kind of separate who believes and who don't. And it's going to happen, like I said, internally and externally. So let's get ourselves together. Pray, be mature, because we don't want to fall into the same thing that, we're accusing other people of doing. Right. All right. That's all I had to say on today. Thank y'all again for listening to today's episode. Like I mentioned earlier, please be sure to subscribe to this podcast, share this with your family and friends, and let them know that we are back up and running the Living from Sunday to Sunday podcast. I missed y'all, and I'm glad to be back in 2024. So until next week, y'all have a great evening, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Living from Sunday to Sunday podcast. All episodes are available everywhere where podcasts can be found. Make sure that you like the show, download, and subscribe so you won't miss out on any of the future episodes. Remember, real change happens between Sundays. Talk to you soon.